want to go to ambient mesh, what should I what types of workloads should I migrate first? Is there like a criteria I should follow, best practices, rules of thumb?
So when planning for the migration, so we normally advise always plan the low risk L4 only workloads first, because that's the first thing that's easy to implement. At the namespace level, you can just enable it, and then you just start monitoring the L4 traffic to make sure everything is working as expected before you turn on L7. So the one general rule is like always prioritize the low risk L4 only first, monitor it. That for example, that you can keep it in phase one, and then the other after that you can look for like resources that you workloads. So most of the time the teams wants to move away from the service mesh. Mainly it's like the sidecars are consuming more resources than the actual application container. So that affects the application performance. So that's why they want to move away from this like bus sidecar based model. So probably so once you prove that the L4 only services are working as expected, you don't see any issues, yeah, you can just plan to go with the resource sensitive workloads as a phase one or phase two, monitor it. And then, yeah, before you start migrating your stateful workloads, start with the stateless services, because they are easier to migrate because they don't have the complexity like the persistent or failover requirements like the stateful set workloads. So go with the stateless applications for, let's say, phase two, and then you can slowly start with the critical L7 applications. So once you're comfortable with how the ambient mesh works, and once you start collecting all the metrics you need, and you're comfortable that everything is working as expected as it was before the sidecar based model, because there will be some changes when it comes to collecting metrics. You need to tweak your dashboard to get the visibility you need. So once you have everything in control, and then you can start planning moving the critical application to ambient service mesh, like start with the L7. And then later you can go for the stateful applications like databases, Kafka, or any other stateful application you're running in the later phase. And then you can start planning for the complex observability needs. And then, yeah, definitely the production critical workloads, you keep it for the last one. Once everything is working as expected, you plan your production critical workloads for the last phase. Obviously, everything you first need to test it in your lower environment, and then you start migrating slowly into your production environment.